Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 449. And last cover page, we got Nell's buddy. Turns out he's actually some type of robot that was operated on, which is pretty cool given the fact that it actually mirrors what's happening now with Dr. Hogback making zombies. Now with this cover page, it isn't actually a cover story, but it's a pretty cool spread, and I love this one. I would love to see this actually in full color. But you got Nami and Luffy and Zoro, the original trio, okay? You got the original trio together. And it just looks really, really fucking cool. So I like that, man. I really, really like that spread. That's actually what reminded me to do the cover page from the last chapter. But this chapter in itself, the big question I have that I'm going to ask right away is this Pervy Salam? Is this actually Brook? Because earlier in the chapter, before that, we get this one scene where Usopp and Chopper and Nami say it's Brook, and they get pushed into Dr. Hogback's laboratory when they try and get away from it looks like Brook, but we don't actually see his face. So I'm very curious to know if that is indeed Brook. How the fuck is he a skeleton and a person who has flesh at the same time? That's going to be very curious if that is him. And I guess if it's the revived Vibe Fruit, maybe there's a side effect to him actually having a skeleton body. Maybe he can come up with illusions to actually make it seem like he has flesh or whatnot. I'm not too sure, but when I heard that, I was like, that went against the powers of his devil fruit, unless he purposely withheld information, which they're pirates. They shouldn't just tell you the truth right away. But this is a shonen, and that typically goes away from the tropes that are in shonens where... And Bleach takes it to a fucking extreme, where Bleach comes up with a long list of abilities, and they read through the shit scene by scene, power by power, and they tell you this is how you defeat them. So I'm really curious if this is actually some deceit going on. But with that being said, what was really interesting is as Usopp and Chopper and Nami, they're spying on Dr. Hogback. They're looking at Sindri, and one thing that I was thinking is she purposely trolling this dude because she doesn't want to be brought back to life, and so she just puts all the food on the tables without plates? And with the soup, was she putting it on that table in order to fuck up his experiment? Is this particularly why she chose soup at midnight as a way to troll this guy? I'm really curious if that's the case, and if that is indeed the fact, it just shows you, when you piss off a woman, they can be pretty vindictive. I know that's probably gonna piss off I think it's like 15% now of female viewers I have. So if that's the case, it's a joke, roll with it. But the other part about this is we actually find out that Thriller Bark is a pirate ship. Didn't see that coming, but it kind of in a way makes sense. But how big is this damn thing if it's actually a fucking village and it looks like the size of an island? And is Thriller Bark the first of several pirate ships that are gonna look like fucking islands? That's interesting. That's really interesting that this happened. And it makes me wonder, how big is this Morai character, okay? And the fact that he's been asleep for 4 days shows he's been conserving energy. So I don't know if there was like some massive throwdown that made him use up a lot of his energy, or if this is just a Snorlax motherfucker, because Luffy turned into Ash Ketchum and was trying to capture fucking zombie Pokemon. So I don't know if that's the case, but what's interesting is the fact that they already know that Luffy and the others, they demolished Ian's lobby, and it looks like it was 4 days ago. So that's interesting that they went between island to island this fast. But then again, this is a pirate ship, so it'll explain why, as they're trying to get to Fishman Island, the log post did not pick it up. So that's interesting. That explains quite a bit right there. And I like the fact that Oda decided to kind of give us a little bit of misdirection before hitting us with, this revelation. That was pretty cool. I like how when everyone gets revived, we get Perona and we get We get Perona. What's the other one? We get Salam. Everyone is being revived, and there's a monster hunt. And that's when you find out that Dr. Hogback is telling him, like, look, the hunt for mortals is about to begin. I told you not to come in my laboratory, but fuck it, it's whatever. You guys better start running. He doesn't tell him to start running, but that's what I took from it. So I thought that this was pretty good, man. And if Thriller Bark decides to take this whole hide and seek type approach, it would be pretty cool, man, because we've seen Luffy and the others somewhat get hunted back during Skypiea, where he had like the countdown with the clock, and you knew that, or the ticking clock being used, and you knew that Enel was gonna blow shit up. When Enel's like, okay, time's over, I win, all you motherfuckers are dying. I found a lot of joy in that, just knowing that this is what was going on. And so if we have another hide and seek type thing, then chances are Thriller Bark, I'm gonna love it a little more. But right now, like I said, I'm indifferent. The fact that Luffy and the others finally made it to the castle, it shows me two things. One, this is gonna be a fairly quick arc, maybe a little longer than what we got with Davy back, but I feel like as of right now, we've probably crossed into about 40% completion for Thriller Bark. Now, watch Oda decide to troll me like he did during Ian's Lobby, where I just thought he can't pull out any more epic shit, and then he continued to pull out epic shit. Watch this only be 20%, and given Oda's pacing, he's right there with Kubo. He's a slow-paced motherfucker, so watch this be something like that. But, you know, my chapter question to you guys is, when you look at the size of Thriller Bark's ship, were you more kind of blown away at the fact that this ship, or this island, is actually a ship, or were you more thrown back by the fact that that mast, that flag ship that we saw, that ship flag, oh fuck, I am drunk right now. Were you more impressed with the fact that it's so large that it looks like a fucking sky? Or were you just more focused on the fact that Luffy and the others are being hunted? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.